So what does depth, not width, actually mean? So I've been writing this blog for about 5 years now, maybe 6. And it came from a place of needing a more depth, not width. And let me unpack that for you. And let me explain where I was at when I started the blog. The blog is a collection of stories and a collection of thoughts and a collection of insights on growth. And where I was growing from was a place of doing a lot of things, but not doing any of them well. So I lived a life, this is coming out of my divorce. I lived a life where I was saying yes to everything I could possibly say yes to. And saying yes to things at work, saying yes to things in my community, saying yes to things at my church, on top of being at that point a single dad, on top of being a husband to 2 amazing kids, on top of being a son to my mom who was getting older, on top of being a brother to my 2 siblings. I was saying yes to everything I could possibly say yes to. I was saying yes to myself. I was saying yes to my hobbies. I was saying yes to the gym. I was saying yes to fun things that I wanted to do. So my life is full of yeses at this point, right? There's not a lot of no's. I wasn't very good at saying no to anything. And what I realized over time was I was a mile wide and an inch deep in my life. And what I mean by that is I was doing fine in pretty much every area of my life, but not great in any of them. And over time, it hit me. I want to have great moments in my life. I want to be great as a dad. Eventually, I want to be great as a husband. I want to be great as a leader in my business. But in order to accomplish that, I can't say yes to everything. I'm going to have to dial in my focus a little bit. And really depth, not width, is an exercise in focus. It's an exercise in saying no to the wrong things and yes to the right things. And I know from past experience how challenging that can be. I know how challenging it can be to say no to things, especially if you're a people pleaser. Like if you're listening to this and you're a people pleaser, you're hearing no and you're like, I can't possibly say no to anything. I could never possibly say no to anything because what would people think? And what I've learned over time is this: people will respect your no's when you say them. They don't respect your yeses if you say yes to everything. And that took a long time for me to pick up, but it's something I've picked up over time. And I would say this is a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly exercise for me, is having to take time and analyze, what am I saying yes to? What am I saying no to? Packing in more no's than yeses in a lot of cases so that I don't go a mile wide and an inch deep in life, but that I'm able to take the pieces of my life that matter the most and really go deep in those areas. Go deep as a husband, go deep as a dad, go deep in my business, go deep in my friendships, go deep in my personal fitness. Like really getting dialed in on what the most important things are, and then discarding some of the things that aren't as important or that you maybe thought were important in a past season you were in but aren't as important today. That's the exercise that I've been on. That's the story of depth, not width. So when you jump into the blog and you start to read the blog, I hope you see that peppered in throughout the posts in the blog. But I also hope it gets you thinking. I hope it gets you thinking about your own life and really analyzing, where do I want to go deep? What matters to me? What really matters to me? It can't be everything, you guys. If you want to live a life of depth, you're going to have to say no to some things, because otherwise you are going to end up a mile wide and an inch deep. And I don't want that for any of you. I don't want it for myself. And that's the reason I'm sharing that journey. And like I said, it's an everyday thing. I have to look at this every single day. If you decide you're going to take on this journey and you want to have a deep life, you're going to have to make decisions every day, just like me. So that's me sharing where it came from. I hope it's helpful to you guys. And I hope each one of you has an amazing day today.